You're going to say that, though.
Yeah, right, listen, we have targets to reach, yeah. Right. And we have, like...
This is where the sales guy's coming
Trust
at.
me, like, wait, listen.
Today's guest is the head of landscape for VMS, Lee Knights. Welcome.
Hi, you all right?
Right, Lee. So tell us about your career with VMS, because you've been with them over a decade.
In total, I've been with them 5 years, but prior to that, another 5 years with another firm. So we worked together in a previous work environment, and now I've come back again to relight it. So with Rob.
So was you already doing landscaping then?
Yeah, so I started out like 10 years ago working for a company doing some veg clearance work. I never was in the industry before that. Met up with this team, started working with them, progressed through the ranks up to a supervisory sort of site manager level. And then I left off to experience like different opportunities and career paths and stuff. So I wanted to learn the whole industry. I didn't want to just be in one industry, like part of the industry. So I started to learn about site management a lot. That interested me. Then I moved on to doing a load of other stuff, like which I didn't really want to pursue after I found out what it was like. So I stuck to the site management side of it.
And that's how you started off in VMS?
Yeah, so I went and worked for another firm for about 3-4 years after the previous one. And then it was funny because I was like literally pricing up the same jobs as Rob was at the time, who's the owner of VMS. And we kept crossing paths on certain jobs and I kept winning them. Then we started talking and stuff. And then before you know it, we just started having a bit of a conversation about starting something up. At the time, VMS didn't have a landscape and fencing department. So we had a chat. I said to him, let's do it. I had the confidence there at the time to do it. And I felt like I had the experience and the knowledge. So we put things to work, put pen to paper and got the things going. So started out in year one, just getting a feel for the industry and how we're going to attack it and where we need to target and stuff. Found out where our strong and weak points were and then just hit it hard. Within year one, I think we doubled what we expected in year one.
And that's just your department?
That was just my department, yeah. Then in year two, I started thinking about taking on my own staff because at the time of starting, we was using the VMS staff, which weren't very skillful in the industry that I was in. So plot landscaping and POS areas, like doing a lot of installs around public open spaces and mass veg clearance. These sort of staff that were at VMS, they didn't do that.
Is that how you started out originally?
Yeah.
Just rewinding?
Yeah. So I'd done a lot of tree work and stuff as well. But yeah, moving on to that. So I then said to him, look, we need to start employing the right people, which he agreed. So I started trickling in some guys from previous contracts that I'd worked on before, just getting people in that I knew at first that I knew could deliver the work, yeah. I didn't want to come into it just like any Joe Bloggs. I wanted to set a new bar and stuff, so that's what I did. And then, 5 years in, I've now got a successful department, got nearly 25 guys working for me now, got all the right tools and equipment, and contracts are just flooding in. We're just doing really well at the moment. And
what are the main people that you work with? Is it house builders?
Yeah, we work with a lot of new development builders. So plot landscaping is like ultimately what we do. So fencing, turfing, planting, all that stuff. I also work for big like infrastructure work. So we'll go in and do like a new build development estate. But in that estate, you've got to give back to some of the community. So they'll have to put like a huge public open space in there, which entails quite a lot of work, putting back in for natural stuff like in the environment and stuff like that, hibernaculars and bits and bobs. So it comes in and collectively it forms into quite a big project. And they're the ones that I enjoy managing. They take up to 6 months to a year to deliver. And then you have your maintenance on top of that.
So, and you built this up from scratch for VMS?
Yeah. So I came in... They didn't do plot landscaping or fencing or any sort of work like that at all. They were mainly focused on rail work, and they was doing a lot of EA work, which is environmental stuff for the Environment Agency. So I just knew what I was good at, and we just put our heads together and got it done. So now we cover all parts of the landscape industry. There's nothing we don't do now. I'm still going harder on that, so I'm trying to get into the green roofs at the minute. I've just put all my guys through the training for that.
You've done a project on green roofs, haven't you?
Yeah. Just recently done a project over at Wellingborough where we're based. Done it for one of my long-term clients. It's very successful, very good actually. A lot of people give us some good feedback about it. So now we're in September. We've got to start thinking about putting these green roof installs into new build developments. Like it has to be at least 20% in a new build development now. So I know that the market's going to be there soon.
Yeah,
I need to be ahead of the market. So getting my guys trained up and understanding and getting the knowledge under our belts is going to be key, which is what we're doing at the minute.
There's a lot of them in Manchester at the minute, and a lot of companies, such as big development companies, are using these. And
you have to, like, there's a 17% like rise in it. So at the moment, as of September this year, any buildings that are getting built now, or any like new build development sites are being built, you have to put a biodiversity net gain in there. So it's to do with the green roof. So you have to have that in there.
So it can't just be any landscaper. They've got to take a course to do this.
Yeah. You've got to have the right qualifications and knowledge to do it. Fortunate for myself, I know the guy who writ the training program.
Okay.
He's a really good guy. He's been in the industry nearly 10 years. He's definitely ahead of the game. And I'm being mentored and shown the way by him at the moment. Like I said, I parked it up for now because I've got other things on the cards right now. But we will be going back to it in the new year, and we'll be hitting it hard. So.
Okay, just rewinding a bit there. So how did you get from site manager to the head of department?
So obviously I said we started on year one, just finding our feet and getting to feel where we need to target and stuff. Very quickly learned how good I was at winning work and stuff and finding work and chasing it. I got a bit of a bug for it and then went out there and done it. So I think Rob, my employer, he was basically like, yeah, you need to just get out there and do your thing, right?
You love sales then?
Yeah, love it. It's kind of a skill set that I've got. So we ended up doing that. He said, look, go. I think what Rob did at the time was like, look, we're going to just see how it runs. We don't know where it's going to go. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
He just knew I had a couple of clients that he wanted. I brought them over. We're still working for them clients today, actually.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so they love us. So yeah, then he just said, look, you're not a site manager anymore because you're not managing small teams and small projects. You're starting to win the work, price the work, you know. He developed me over them 5 years up to this point now where I'm successfully running a department. So I came from site manager to contracts manager on year 2. Contracts managing was, I don't want to sound like bad, but it was kind of boring for me.
Why?
It was no challenge there. Like
Really?
It was just like stagnant. You're just running projects day in, day out. You're doing the same stuff. You're talking the same stuff. I like the chase. I like the thrill of like winning the work and watching something grow. And it's a massive achievement for me and for VMS to have such a successful department now. So I went on from contracts managing and we moved on to me becoming head of department.
Yeah.
I've been head of department. Well, I've been head of department from day one.
Yeah.
But it's just the status has changed. So I've been head of department now for the last 2 years solid, I think. Like I said, I've got everybody I need now. I've got all my team around me, dedicated to my department. I've got my own vehicles, my own kit, and I've got my own teams. I've got my own site managers now. I've just recently took on a contracts manager. And then I've got supervisors that work for me as well.
Okay.
Yeah, things are going really well.
So how did you get into the industry?
So I was sort of like finding my feet in life, just trying to figure out what sort of work I wanted to do. I knew I had some skill sets there, like leadership skills. I never wanted to be told what to do. I always wanted to be the person telling people, like in the nicest way.
You mean leading?
Yeah, just leading from the front. That's what I do. I've done it forever. So I just sort of was bouncing around. I couldn't find my feet. I was on building sites anyway. I was doing plastering. I've done a bit of tiling and stuff, you know. And
Well, in the early days?
yeah, real early days. And then, funny enough, my friend was like, listen, do you want to jump on this job? Like, we're going to go and work on this job. It's good money. I was like, is it outdoors? They're like, yes, outdoors. I said, do you know what? I'll go. I ended up just being a labourer for Rob for like a year.
Did you?
Yeah, I was literally like a labourer for the previous company, just plodding along, getting to know the industry. And then I thought to myself, I could eat this up and I could quite easily smash this. So I did. I set out my little plan and I just went on my way. I felt like when I got to my peak where I was at the time, I had to move on to develop. So I left there and I moved on to develop, and I did. I went and worked for about 3-4 other landscape firms in between. Deliberately.
Is there a qualification for landscaping?
Yeah, so I've got my SMSTS, which is my manager's thing. I've got pretty much all the tickets you need to be in the industry.
Is there 6 divisions of VMS?
Right, so at VMS, there's like, you've got different departments.
Yeah.
So it was all broken up about 2-3 years ago. So I'm obviously head of landscape and fencing.
Yep.
And then you've got rail, which
Yep.
is like Rob's head of, which he has managers that work for him underneath. And you've got the ARB department, which is north. And then you've got the ARB department, which is south.
Yep.
And then in between, we've got VMT,
Yep.
business support, and all these little other departments in between that. So with me, like, I always say that I'm like the best department because we have targets.
You're going to say that, though.
Yeah, hey, listen, we have targets to reach, yeah.
Right.
And we have like...
This is where the sales guy's coming in.
Trust me, like, wait, listen, if Rob was listening to this, he'd get what I'm saying, yeah? So
He will be listening to this.
I get put in a room, yeah, and I get told to do something, and I've got to compete with everybody else in that room.
Is it game on?
I'm not going to lose the thing, so... Yeah, so I have to hit targets. I have to hit safety targets, quality targets. I have to hit financial targets, and I buzz off it. I literally buzz off it. So there is a bit of banter between us. Like,
that's good though. It keeps it fun.
Yeah, me and the managers, we have it every other day. I'll pop in the office, how much you won today, blah, blah, blah. And it's a bit like that, you know. And that's how we bounce off each other. But obviously there's a serious side to it as well, where you have to... It's important for your staff to be safe and that and stuff, and the quality's there as well, which I thrive off, the quality. We don't deliver like a rubbish service. We are a little bit more expensive, but
do you work up and down the UK, you guys? Or are you just predominantly in Wellingborough, Northampton?
So when I started, the client that I brought over with me was only based in Wellingborough, so I was working for Wellingborough-based like people only. Then I started reaching out because I'm from a different area. I'm nearly an hour away from where I work. So I started reaching out to some areas around my way. It's just a bit more suited for me. I started winning them. Yeah. But then it's all about reputation. So as my reputation grew with the certain clients and I was getting in there with these guys, very quickly I started expanding. So I was going to Northamptonshire, Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire, we was going all over. We've even been down to London now. We're starting to work in Romford and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, sky's the limit for me, yeah? So I'm not looking to just stay like in one spot. I'll branch up and down the country. I've got Steve, who's the ARB manager for up north. Yeah. I can reach out to him if I need to go that far up. Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously we've got other departments if I need backing as well. But I would like to personally, in the new year, start looking about getting into the bigger cities. Yeah. So, you know, even here actually, like Manchester, Birmingham, like Nottingham, all them places, yeah? So that's where I'm at with it.
What are some of the specific challenges and opportunities that come with your role?
Constantly getting the pressure on me to win work. It's my job to keep the work coming in.
So you're the salesperson.
Yeah. So I have to make sure this work's coming. I don't rely on anybody in the whole company to win my work. Yeah. I have to win my own work.
I get that.
So having that much staff under me and having subcontractors that work for me and stuff, I have to make sure that workflow is coming in all the time. So that's quite a challenge for me.
Pressure.
Yeah, finding new work, but you've either got it or you ain't, and you find out very quickly if you ain't. So I just think now that side of it's not really a challenge.
I think everyone's not a salesperson though, in some way, shape or form.
To be honest with you, I've met a lot of people in my time, yeah? And I've met people that say they can do something and they can't, and they can't.
You've either got it or you've not.
You either got it or you ain't. And like you've got to just think outside the box all the time. A lot of the people that are around me, they don't do that. A lot of people are quite happy just sat still, just doing their thing. And I'm not that type of person. I'm always looking for the next ladder, the next step. And I don't.
What is the vision? My
vision at the minute is to grow. So this is the beginning of our financial year, September. Yeah. For VMS. My vision for the next 12 months, next September, is to grow the department probably 30 to 50% on top of what it already is now. So where it's at the moment, I'd like to nearly double it, nearly. That's where I'm going at the minute.
And it hitting new up and down the country.
Yeah. So if that means more recruiting, that means more hard work to find the work, I will. Like I said, I ain't really stressed about finding the work.
How do you find your work?
Secret.
Can you not tell us?
Yeah, I can tell you if you want. I can tell you some.
Is it just commercial people?
You just got to have...
Do you just do everywhere? Like, do you do like...
fencing, planting, turfing, soft landscaping, hard landscaping. We do everything, footpath installs, everything. We do the whole shebang. But the way I win the work is very unique, I think. Like, so I'm really like proper people person, yeah? So if I'm in a room with somebody, I'm getting their attention. And then once I know whose attention to get, I'll then work on what I need to do to make sure they're interested in what I'm offering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very tight-knit industry. So there's a lot of people out there that know everybody. It was really hard for me at the beginning because...
Was this landscape?
Yeah, so VMS, in landscaping. So in VMS, the name wasn't there. The brand wasn't there. And nobody knew who VMS was or what they did.
Okay.
I had to not only win the work, but I had to sell the work. And I had to prove to everybody that we are the go-to people and that our levels are very high compared to everybody else, which is what I was going to actually come on to before. Like, the bar has been dropped so low in the industry in terms of quality and safety. It's unreal. So
like what? Give us an example.
I come to different sites where clients have come to me. Like I said, I built that rapport with them now. They know who I am. They know what I'm about. They know if I'm coming to do a job, it's going to get done properly, and they respect that and they appreciate that. So I've got companies out there now probably just coming in at the lowest end budget. So they're coming in real cheap. They're coming in with they're sending inexperienced people in. And
just to win the money.
They're just getting in there just to win the contract. Let's for argument's sake, my contract could be 100 grand, but these people will come in at 60. And it's like, my overheads are 60. So I don't understand how you're doing it. So you're doing something wrong. So you're doing the job wrong, or you're doing the job cheaply. And then what I'm finding is a lot of my clients now are coming to me and they're like, Lee, we need you to come in, repair this. Need you to come in, take over
because if you
this.
pay cheap, then you're getting cheap.
So when I sit in a room with a load of directors or MDs or QSs and they're like, Lee, you're 30 grand more expensive than XYZ. I'm like, 30 grand gets you security. Yeah. So I'm offering you something that nobody else can. You're going to get the job done once. You're not going to get the job done 3 times.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have to call anybody else. And I'm guaranteeing you the work. So they're like, okay, we love that. And it works. That's how I do it.
Landscaping would be like, I bet it's a competitive industry.
It is. There's a lot of companies out there. I don't want to sound like too big-headed when I say it, but there's a lot of companies out there at the minute that are doing it, but not. So now our name is finally there and everybody knows hand in hand with the VMS brand that the quality's there.
Yeah.
And all my clients know the quality's there. And I handpick my staff and make sure they're the top of them.
Do you have like long-standing clients that you work with? Well, you said it earlier on, didn't you?
Yeah. So I've got quite a few clients that have stuck with me through thick and thin. Even coming over from where I was to Rob at VMS, the client followed me, not the company. And now we're 5 years in with that client still. So it's just smashing.
Well, that's the proof in the pudding, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think Rob, like, obviously he gets that. Hence why he's just leaving me to it.
He's left you to have your department. You and Rob work really well together.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really see much of each other now. He just sort of lets me crack on. Like, he sort of like, I don't know, ushered me a little bit for the first couple of years. But after that, I've just been left to my own devices. I've been able to do whatever I need to do.
What do we expect to see from the landscape department for VMS?
I think we're just going to carry on expanding and getting the brand out there with the help of you guys. You know, now we've got you on board. Things have definitely started escalating pretty quick now. You've got us out there. So yeah, shout outs to these lot.
Thanks.
I actually think you do a great job. So I think just getting the brand out there, and then just expanding my client base and expanding my staff and expanding my kit and my materials and just getting everything just getting everything over the line and getting it bigger.
I think branching out into different areas will definitely do you guys.
Yeah, we need to.
Good, especially as well with the green moves.
Northamptonshire is a very like small area to just like.
Well, you're doing really, really well.
Yeah, I think I've dominated that area now. I actually do believe I have. And some big clients, Hayfield Homes, Bovis Homes, Mulberry Homes, these are the sort of clients I'm working for that I feel like I've completed, so to speak. There's much more clients out there that I can jump on. I just haven't, because I haven't had the time or the effort to be able to do that, because I'm too busy building my department and structuring it.
It takes time, doesn't it?
Listen, accelerating your department at 500 miles an hour, you're going to crash.
No one works like you either. You've got to remember that. Like, I'm 100 miles an hour and I always think that I expect the team. Yeah,
to work the same.
But it's not.
But you've got to have that. You've got to have that something in you.
Yeah.
And that's what, some people.
Because you're the thinker then, thinking, right, well, we're going to take this to the next step.
If I stop, the department stops. And I don't want that. I want it to keep rolling. I've got big visions as well, so that's what I want. I want to keep progressing.
From site manager to a head of department, well, on department as well, is really good.
Yeah. That's where we're at. Quite enjoy it. I ain't going anywhere. I'm enjoying the journey. Been a few lumps and bumps in the road.
Oh, go on then. Tell us the challenges. Tell us some bumps. Come on.
Nah, just awkward clients, demanding clients, argumentative clients.
Yeah, you'll get that.
Just the day before this, come in here,
Yeah.
I got like wound up with something. Like
Really?
Just a little text message saying this ain't been done, and you're like, you just got to know.
Not me off my bones now.
Nah, exactly. So yeah, I've got a good team around me as well. So I literally handpicked.
How many people are in your team?
I got about, with subcontractors and office staff, I'm probably in the region of about 20, 25. I've got my staff, I've got my supervisors, got my manager, and then I've got I just had an admin leave actually, so that was a bit bad. But then I've just got the subbies as well. I've got 2 sets of subcontractors I use for like bespoke jobs, quite intense jobs, which my guys can't handle. So yeah, just keep expanding. 40 by the next time we have this podcast.
Yeah, you're going to have another one soon.
40
Yeah,
members of
remember that
staff.
because we're going to hold him to it.
40 members of staff by, no, not Christmas. That's big.
3 months.
February.
Yeah.
February, I'll be big in the game.
Yes, I love that. And the green moves.
Green roofs to start in January. I parked it up. I've done all I can for now. I'm slowly talking with another firm who supply the materials to team up and maybe do something together.
Really?
Yeah. So got to have
Might
your
be a
fingers in all the
dual
pies.
podcast next time.
Yeah, you got to have your fingers in all the pies. See how it goes. Just got to be forward thinking, ain't you?
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's my podcast done.
Well done. Thanks, Lee.
That's it.